Okay, this pose is the bum up pose. This is where I transition the baby from the side pose over onto their belly and raise the head and the bottom to create the bum up pose. This is where I want to get the elbow and the knee connecting, and I want to get the chin and the shoulder connecting. I always like to have their bottoms covered during this setup because, you know, I'm not a big fan of completely naked babies, but that's a personal thing. So before I turn him over onto his belly, I'm just going to slide these little pants on. They're nice and stretchy. Don't want to wake him up, so I'm just going nice and slow. You can see him reacting to my touch there. Grab the other leg. Just want to bring that up over the knee. While he's stretching. Okay, now I'm going to get the top arm through the armhole, but I'm going to have to wait till I turn him over onto his tummy to get the other arm through. Okay, so as you can see, his little bottom arm is underneath his shoulder and his head. I need to bring that out the back when I position him over onto his tummy. It's going to make him nice and stable, but it's also going to take the weight of his body off that arm, so he's nice and comfortable. So just pushing those beans down in the posing bag to make that surface nice and flat, so I'm turning him onto a flat surface. So to turn that arm, I want to bring my fingers onto his forearm and then slide my other hand down behind the back shoulder here. When I lift up from here, I can push that arm through. So I'll just cross those legs over because as I turn him, they're going to follow through. Fingers on his forearm and just sliding that hand down in behind that shoulder as I gently lift and push that arm through. So now I can pull his little pants into position, bring the other arm up through the other armhole. There it is. So aiming to get the elbow and the knee together and the chin and the shoulder together, what I need to do is bring this arm back out and up underneath that cheek. I'll bring these legs down though, now that we've got him in position. Just waiting for him to relax. Shh. There's that hand. Okay, to get the bottom half into position, I want to place my fingers, flat fingers, on his shins. And then I'm going to tuck those knees up underneath his little body. You need to make sure that they're evenly placed apart so that they're stable and he's nice and comfortable. Tuck that in. It's a little big. Okay, so bringing those back knee up underneath and then crossing those feet over. The back leg comes up that way, sitting nice and flat. Now to bring this hand in under the face, we want to bring that wrist in underneath the chin and the cheek so that we can see the fingers. So I can just feel his little wrist tensing as I hold on to it, so I'm just going slow. Pushing that thumb through so his hand sits nice and flat, wrist in, and with flat fingers just on the side of his head, taking the weight of his head off the bag and up underneath his little face. There we go. With this pose, I want to make sure that the lighting is nice and even from the face across the body. So once we've got him into position, we'll turn him towards that light. Bring his little knees up and his bottom half around to the front. Once they're in position, this is when you can start to elevate their bottom half and their top and their head. But you want to make sure that your props are nice and even underneath these back legs so that he's got lots of support there. Okay, I'm just sliding those towels in underneath those back legs. And then we'll start with his little head. By lifting underneath his head and his bottom, I want to create that beautiful soft curve. Okay, we're going to bring his little chin forward onto that hand. He's just reacting to my touch at the moment, so I'm just going slow. Keeping my thumb on the back of the wrist so it stays there, and you can see my hands just gently resting on his back. I'm going to rock him to get the weight of his head off so I can lift his cheek just up onto the back of that hand. Come on. we go. Bringing that cheek forward is important because you don't want to make the face all squished up on the back of that hand. Okay, now we've got his head in place, we can start to really mould our props underneath to lift his head and bring it up into that curved shape. So you can see as I place them underneath, I'm just folding them over to create that height in the right areas. Okay, just going to let him relax a little bit as I turn the bag towards that light. What I'm going to do is bring this foot out. Just want to tuck this back leg, his knee, back up a bit because that foot's just coming through a bit too much there. Bring that knee around. So for me it's really important to have all of these little details in place. I like everything to be perfect. If you've got a baby though that's fussing and squirming, then you want to get your safe shot. It'd be a really good idea, but he's nice and sleepy here. So Lydia, can I get you just to come and stretch this backdrop out for me? Yeah, and peg it, nice pull, undo that and pull it nice and tight. Beautiful. Keep turning him towards the light. Keep pulling it really tight for me. So I've got that light falling across the eyebrow, across the nose and the cheek, and onto the rest of his body. So I'm just going to fine tune a few things here. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to get my safe shot because he's had a little bit of a wriggle, and then once I've got that I'm going to come back in and just tidy up a few little details there. So with this pose, just try to get a shot front on, and he's going to be positioned in the bottom 2/3 of my frame. What I also like to get with this is lots of variety, so I'm going to shoot from above, I'm going to come in close and get a detail shot of his little face, and then we might get a different angle creating some negative space, which is always great for birth announcements and things like that. Nice close-up. And that's the bum up pose.